Alright, hey everybody. It's been a long time since I made a video, but I really want to start getting back into making videos. And I was going to wait till the new year, but what better time to do it now than with the new release coming up of Code Geass for Union Arena. All this is accessed through Eggman events. He has all the cards listed through on here. This site's just a little bit easier to do it on, so that's what I'm going to use. I just want to go over some of the main decks that you're going to see coming out of here. This set has a lot of really good decks to build. I will say that for the other sets that we've had come out so far, this one has more decks that are like good. Maybe not like top tier, but playable good decks. And that's really something cool to look forward to if you're buying boxes. A lot of these decks are very playable, where I feel like some of the minor support in the other boxes weren't as fleshed out as well. Which this one will get more support as well too coming up in the when they make the set 2 for it. But we'll just go through it. There's 4 or 5 like pretty good decks. That'll be the Gawain deck. This is with Lelouch and CC or C2. The other purple deck is a Gekka deck. This is just with the Order of the Black Knights. Another cool, like, low to the ground, fast deck. A Suzuku Rush deck, which is pretty cool. Low to the ground, kind of similar to how a lot of people play some of the Bleach decks low to the ground with, like, the Renji Rush and stuff. A little cooler way of doing it with this deck, but kind of like a Ricky Rush kind of style deck. And then C2, her pizza deck, which is really cool. A lot of build up for it. Pretty fun to play, especially if you like her thematic. But it's also a cool deck. You can play that. And then the other deck in the set, obviously you can build other decks too, but these are like the main ones that's got main support, is just a Lancelot deck. So we'll go through some of the cards that kind of go into them. I just use some of the decks that he has on the site, and this is kind of what a good base for a Lelouch deck would be. All based around obviously the Gawain card. When played, all characters on your opponent's front line lose 1,000 BP till the end of the turn. Super strong. If they hit this in life and you check and you're raiding into this, now you've minus their whole board by 1,000, and you're probably gonna be living if you have some blockers up, because now it's essentially like boosting you by 1,000 too. So you'll be able to block out a lot of their stuff. And also, this character cannot be blocked by a character with 2,000 less BP. Really, really cool. So whenever you finally get into it, you don't have to worry about little things taking up your attack. It's kind of almost forcing them to block with bigger bodies. And then the cool thing about this card is that you can rate it on top of Lelouch and C2, which makes it very versatile. Being able to have either one of them out on your front line or back line and then raiding into it, really cool. Some of the other mech you can kind of run into it, like a smaller package would be to run the Mach 2, and it's a really good card too. Some of the lists I see run this and other ones don't, but I think for the support that we have right now, that you would want to run this package as well into it, just so you have another raid target in the deck. Both of these cards are really really good. It raids on top of Callan, and super strong card. When played, choose one of your opponent's frontline characters 3,000 BP less and sideline it, and this character gains impact for the turn. Super cool card, really really good. Good stats. Maybe only the issue is it being a 5, but you really don't mind that too much. She's gonna come out and put in work for sure, clearing the board and then getting to get that extra damage if they do try to block. Really good card for the day. The other one is this version of it, and this one's really cool. This one's based like having Lelouch on the board, so it's got a lot of synergy. When played, if Lelouch is on your field, this character gains your opponent must block this character's attack if possible, and impact 1. So once again, it's going to cost 5 energy, but only 1 action. So playing this, if you have a Lelouch out already, which you should have, lets you pseudo kind of snipe something, right? Because they have to block with it if possible, and you get to get a check of damage. So a lot of pressure that you can put on with this top end of the deck. Really cool deck. Definitely, my opinion, the best deck in the set. I'm definitely going to build it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, but the next one, the other purple deck, like we said, is a Gekka Toto Fighter deck. Just low to the ground. This is the main card in it. Gekka Toto. Activate main if on the front line. Once per turn, all your characters with the 4 Holy Swords affinity gain 500 BP until the end of your turn. And then when attacking, choose one of your characters with the 4 Holy Swords affinity and set it to active. So you're playing a lot of the other 4 swords onto the field, and then bringing him out, buffing them, and then swinging and untapping this card, which is really really cool. It's really low to the ground, fast deck. A couple different raid targets. You got another one here. Uh, this character can't be blocked by characters with 2,000 BP or less, so that's part of like why this deck gets to rush. They'd have to play some big bodies early and free to go through, but this not being able to get blocked by 2,000 BP or less is really really strong to help push that pace fast in the game and try to get the games over quickly. If you have 3 or more characters with the 4 Holy Swords affinity, Kyoshiro or Gekka, this character gains Impact 1. Super strong. Coming out fast, Impact 1, 3,500. A 3-1 too, so you get to play it out really quick, and you can see where this could start to push the pace with the game. And then it raids on 4 Holy Swords, so pretty cool. It's a good card. And then the other one, I've not read this one too much, but it's another one, raid 4 Holy Swords or Kyoshiro. And effect when played, look at top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 with the 4 Holy Swords affinity, Kyoshiro or Gekka from among them, and your hand. Place remaining at bottom deck. So just a good searcher, good raid early on, 3,500 points. It's cool to see like a deck different like this, where the raids are, you know, a little lower to the ground but a faster pace. I'd say right now there hasn't been a deck to kind of like do that in Union Arena so far, at least what we have here in NA, but just trying to play these guys early, get you some energy, search for them, he'll search, and just trying to push the pace with them. Really, really good, really fast cards. And then the trailer is a pretty key card in the deck too. You have to see this. In this set, a lot more of the sight cards are really, really strong and kind of go with them. But this trailer says, effect, play this sight set to active on your field. Activate main, switch to resting. All of your Order of the Black Knights Affinity characters gain 500 BP till the end of the turn. So boosting these characters up to make them kind of match some of the strength of other characters that will be, you know, 4,000. And if you got the fighter, the Gekka Toto fighter, this one will be big enough to kind of swing over some of the things that they're going to be playing against you. A really cool, low to the ground, fast deck. I think you could play this and really catch people off guard with how fast that the deck is. But we're going to green. This does a similar play style as Kurapika and the Hunter deck, where you're trying to get a lot of energy, try to get to your top end, and then really control the board with it. But the main card is the Lancelots and the Suzuku. The big Lancelot is a strong card, 5,000 BP. It does take the 8 energy, but in this deck you have a 3 energy producer, which helps out a ton. But always has damage too, so you don't even have to raid on it to get that part because it's above the raid text, which is super important to know with a lot of cards. That damage 2 is always there, even if you don't raid. So sometimes if you're having to hard play him, it doesn't feel as bad as far as being able to raid it. But the impact 2 or the damage 2 is always there. But you raid him on top of Suzuku, and then effect. When played, choose one of your opponent's frontline characters 5,000 or less BP and retire it. Or sideline it. Choose one of your characters 5. Yeah, same thing. Sideline it. really strong. You're just coming out and you're clearing pretty much anything in the game at this moment. I mean, 5,000 is almost like the cap, but unless they end up getting, an active trigger to boost him by 3, when you play this character from raid, you are putting in work, and then you got the impact 1 always. So if they go to block him, you're still getting damage in, and hitting one of these in life and getting a raid feels really, really good too. Super strong card. Payoff for the deck is really, really cool. The smaller version of the Lancelot always has the damage too. Once again, important to know that it's above that raid text. It raids on top of Suzaku, and then when played, this character gains 4,000 BP till the start of your next turn. Really good, because then now you have a 5,000 blocker on your opponent's turn. So once you play this, he's boost for your turn and their turn coming up, so it can block. And then when sideline, return the bottom card of this rated character to your hand. So it's always giving you back the Suzaku's to be able to cycle. Make sure you always have plays on the board and ready. Really, really good card. Takes 6 energy, but it's worth the payoff for sure. He's really, really good. We'll go through to the Suzaku, the regular. See his list. Maybe this one doesn't have the 3. I could have misspoke with the 3 energy, but I thought there was a 3 energy that got ran in this color. Maybe I have it mixed up. But either way, you see here he's running a lot of 2/2/2 energies, so maybe 4 copies of her to make sure you see him, because it's really hard to get to the 4 energy. But we'll go to the Suzaku here. Step, always useful. And when a Euphenia on your field is sideline, you may move this character to your front line. Oh, so it's like a step. Your movement, you may move this. Yeah, this card is interesting. So it's kind of thematic where he's trying to protect her, but he's a double energy generator, which is the main part. You're really not trying to bring him out, but if she does, for any reason, get sideline, you can move him up to kind of give you another blocker. But cool card because he just generates 2. But you got the smaller versions of him. When played, draw a card, help you cycle, color trigger, 2 energy, and then just the 0 drop of him as well. Really strong deck, super, super cool. Top end, if you like playing those, build up, get to your big top end cards, this is definitely the deck for you. Be a lot of fun. The other deck we got this is a Suzaku deck, but it's just like a Rookie Rush kind of deck too. It does some of the same things as the purple deck, where you're trying to rush the board, but just in a different way because of this Ashford Academy. You play this set to active, activate main, switch it resting, choose one of your characters with Ashford Academy that was played this turn, and switch it to active mode. So it's like giving them rush in this game, where you play them, you switch this to resting, and then they get switched to active, so you're able to play them on the turn and attack with them the turn they're played. And they're all pretty low, decent BPs, so really, really cool card. But it has to be with 3,000 less BP, so that's kind of how it stays a little fair, but it can get. This deck is going to annoy a lot of people when you see it played. It doesn't seem so crazy, but it can pressure you big time. And then the special is choose one of your characters. Choose one character with 3,000 less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. If your opponent has 4 less life, 5,000 or less BP instead. So if plays with the game, plays with the way the deck wants to play, because you're pushing through, playing your people, trying to get their life low, and then that way you can, whenever they do finally play their big stuff, you play the House of Horrors, and it only costs 3/1. So your energy output on this one is you can stay pretty low to the ground to take out their big threats, like the Lancelots, stuff like that. It's a good deck. I'll do it, but I'll go over this Suzaku. Raid on top of Suzaku, impact 1, so it's underneath the raid. Don't always get it unless you raid. And then when attacking once per turn, choose it to one other character with 3,000 less people on your field and switch it to active. So he's coming out. You have the Ashford Academy up. You can play something small, switch it to active, play him, raid into him, swing with one of the other guys first, play him. When you swing with him, he lets you do them. So He's a cool card. It's just a really, really aggressive deck. This is a cool art of him too. When played, choose one red character that costs 2 or less required energy and wipe across from your hand and set it to resting on your field. So he helps you swarm the board too. You're playing some of these. You play him, play another one, put one on active, and they can attack that turn. Really simple, fun deck. If you're looking to build something from the set and maybe you don't want to do anything that's crazy, I don't think any of this stuff's gonna be too pricey. Maybe the Saku's if the deck pops off for the Nananalis, but really cool deck. Very aggro, very fun. And then a very special deck is the Pizza deck, all running around C2. This character gains effects based off the number of Pizza affinity cards in your sideline, 2 or more. Play this card active, so she can come out standing up. 4 or more, impact, so she'll have impact. And then 6 or more, she gains 1,000 BP and double attack, which is the big payoff. Because she's a 4,000. If you have the 6 in there, she comes in active, she has impact, and she has 1,000. So really good big plays with her. Being able to bring her out, swing for 5,000, swing for 5,000 with impact. So your opponent really doesn't want to block, and if they do, you get to get the damage through. This is the main card of the deck. This is her. And if you have those winter arts, this is the deck you get to use them for. Really cool. The other main card is a Loosh. When played, choose one of your opponent's frontline cards at 2,000 PP or less and sideline it. If you have 4 or more event cards in your sideline, you sideline a 4,000 PP or less. Which getting to the 4 is good. It should be pretty easy for you in deck the way it cycles, but the 6 is tough. The 6 is tough, and the payoff is pretty cool. But he just helps you trying to control their board, until you can kind of get into your C2. And you got the Shirley effect, activate main, switch to resting, draw a card, then place 1 card from your hand to your sideline. When played, add 1 red event from your sideline to your hand. So she kind of helps you cycle. This is one of the main cards that you want to see. And she has a raid. This is really cool that she's a raid, 3, 1 action point, 3 energy, 3,000 BP. She's a really cool card. Super cool. I love her. She's awesome. The chess game. This is your kill spell, I believe. Yeah. Choose a character 3,000 BP or less. Sideline it. If you have 3 or more events, you sideline 5,000 BP or less. So you can see where like you can really start controlling the board with the chess games and the Lelouches. Really, really cool. And then the rest of the deck just kind of cycles. CCs. If you have 2 or more pizza delivery in your sideline, gains 5,000 BP. If you have 1 or more giant pizza in your sideline, it gains 500 BP. So if you can have, both of the pizzas in there, at least 1 of each, she's a 3-drop 4,000, 2 energy generator too. So she's really, really cool. This is just searching for the pizzas. Good card, color trigger. A lot of people were talking about the color trigger in this red. Choose 1 character 200 BP or less on your opponent's front line and sideline it. Not that good, but if you see it early, it doesn't feel so bad, right? Like they swing in, you see a color trigger, it's going to do the same thing of killing something as, some of the other triggers that kill things. But it's just clearing the early bodies they're putting on you and then trying to get up into your pizzas. But let's talk about the pizzas since we're on this giant pizza event. Choose 1 character in your field. It gains 1,000 BP till the end of your turn. And then choose up to 1 of your AP cards and switch it to active. So it's just a free 1,000 BP boost. Easy way to get this into the trash too by doing that. And then the delivery pizza. Draw a card, then place 1 card from your hand to your sideline, and then get an AP back. So those 2 cards just cycling themselves. Really, really cool. Cool deck. Should be a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be building that and the other Lelouch deck. But I hope you guys love this set. I'm super excited about it. I may build all these decks, and that's not all the cards. I just went through the main like 5 decks that I thought you could build with it, but I do feel like with this set you can probably mix and match some of the colors and archetypes together, just depending on like what you want to do. It should be a lot of fun. You could build this Britannia deck. I didn't really go over that, but that could be another deck you might want to build. With the green instead of doing that. You can do some of the other Royal Guards in green. This set has a lot going on. Definitely one of my favorite sets with things that you can build and have a lot of fun with, and then feel more like cohesive decks as opposed to. I feel like some of the other sets didn't really have that as much, where some of the archetypes were lacking. But I hope you guys like this video. Like I said, I'll start upping my production quality. I just did this one quick just to go over it. I'm really excited for the set. I hope you guys have fun, and I'll try to get some more videos out. Thanks.